Vietnam officially unveiled a new cornerstone of its defense strategy, the Artillery and Missile Command. The inauguration ceremony, chaired by General Nguyen Tan Quang, Chief of the General Staff and Deputy Minister of Defense, signaled not just an organizational change, but also a profound redefinition of Hanoi's military posture. For observers, this development is proof that Vietnam is determined to transition its armed forces from a Cold War legacy structure toward a modern force capable of meeting the demands of a shifting security landscape in Asia. The new command builds directly on the foundations of the former Artillery Corps, an institution celebrated for its decisive role in Vietnam's wars of the 20th century. Generations of artillery units, renowned for their precision and endurance, became a national symbol of resilience, qualities encapsulated in President Ho Chi Minh's famous words praising them as bronze feet, iron shoulders, excellent in fighting, accurate in shooting. While honoring this tradition, Hanoi's leadership made clear that the transformation is not about nostalgia. Instead, the aim is to create a leaner, more flexible organization that can combine combat heritage with modern technologies. In his speech, General Quang stressed that the command embodies the party's political will to enhance national defense capabilities while restructuring military organization for efficiency. The establishment of the Artillery and Missile Command reflects both internal needs and external pressures. Southeast Asia has become a zone of intensifying geopolitical competition, with maritime disputes and regional power rivalries complicating the security environment. Vietnam, which has historically adopted a defensive strategy, recognizes that credible deterrence now requires modernized structures, not just historical experience. By merging missile and artillery forces under one umbrella, Vietnam gains a streamlined command and control system. This reorganization promises faster decision-making, clearer chains of responsibility, and better integration of firepower in any potential conflict scenario. According to the Military Balance 2025, Vietnam's artillery inventory is among the most extensive in the region, though much of it reflects Cold War-era procurement. More than 2,000 towed artillery pieces remain in service, ranging from Soviet 76mm ZIS-3 and 100mm T-12 anti-tank guns to American M101 howitzers that have been locally modernized. Larger caliber systems, such as the 130mm M46, over 500 units were delivered decades ago, still form a backbone of long-range firepower, with some adapted into experimental, self-propelled versions. The inventory also includes 152mm D-20s and Chinese-made Type 66 systems, further expanding Vietnam's artillery options. While many of these pieces are outdated by modern standards, they continue to provide considerable firepower, especially when integrated into layered defensive strategies. Recognizing the limitations of static, towed systems in mobile warfare, Vietnam has sought to expand its fleet of self-propelled artillery. Currently, the Army fields around 150 Soviet-built 2S-1 Gvozdika 122mm vehicles, alongside roughly 30 152mm 2S-3 Akatsia guns. These assets provide mobility, but they are aging and limited in capability. To address this, Hanoi has pursued modernization partnerships. A key step is the planned acquisition of 20 South Korean K-9 Thunder 155mm self-propelled howitzers. With a range of over 40 kilometers, rapid rate of fire, and advanced mobility, the K-9 would represent a technological leap for Vietnam's artillery. Its integration into the force would significantly increase Vietnam's capacity for fast, precise, long-range firepower, an essential component of modern combat. Vietnam's arsenal extends beyond conventional artillery. The Army continues to operate mortar carriers such as American M106 vehicles and Soviet MTLB platforms, many of which have been modified to mount 100mm systems. The country's rocket artillery remains one of its strongest assets. Approximately 350 BM-21 Grad multiple rocket launchers, many produced domestically and fitted with digital fire control upgrades, form the bulk of this capability. Alongside them, Around 400 BM, 14 systems dating from the 1960s still contribute, despite their age. Most striking, however, is Vietnam's tactical missile capability. Around 20 launchers for Scud-B, C, and D missiles, along with North Korean Hwasong 5 and Hwasong 6 variants, form a strategic deterrent force. Some of these systems have been modernized to improve both range and accuracy, giving Vietnam a limited but meaningful long-range strike capability. In a region where missile forces are increasingly central to power projection, these assets provide Hanoi with leverage and deterrence. General Quang emphasized that the success of the artillery and missile command depends not just on equipment, but on organization and leadership. He urged officers to embrace the mission with discipline, initiative, and unity. The new command is expected to serve as both an operational and advisory body, shaping how artillery and missile forces are structured, deployed, and employed across different theaters of operation. The immediate priority is to stabilize the command structure, assign clear responsibilities, and establish strong leadership. Hanoi has also stressed the importance of personnel management, ideological training, and compliance with party directives. These measures reflect Vietnam's approach of intertwining military readiness with political cohesion. The creation of this command is only one component of a broader modernization program. Over the past decade, Vietnam has consistently invested in improving its Navy and Air Force, recognizing that maritime and aerial domains are crucial in contemporary conflicts. The restructuring of ground forces, particularly artillery and missile units, complements these efforts. This dual approach, maintaining large inventories of older weapons while selectively acquiring advanced systems, reflects both financial realities and strategic calculation. Vietnam cannot afford wholesale replacement of its arsenal, but it can modernize incrementally in ways that maximize deterrence and operational effectiveness. The launch of the Artillery and Missile Command is not just an internal reform. It has implications for Southeast Asia's broader security landscape. By strengthening its missile and artillery capabilities, Vietnam enhances its ability to deter external threats and project defensive strength. Neighbors and potential adversaries will have to account for a more cohesive, more modernized Vietnamese firepower structure. While Hanoi insists that its military modernization is defensive in nature, the symbolism of this command's creation is clear. It signals that Vietnam is preparing for an uncertain future where regional disputes and shifting alliances could test national resilience. Vietnam's establishment of the Artillery and Missile Command marks a significant milestone in its ongoing military transformation. Rooted in the proud legacy of its artillery forces, the new command is designed to adapt that tradition to modern challenges. By integrating missile forces, modernizing artillery, and creating a streamlined leadership structure, Hanoi is building a force that is more mobile, more accurate, and more strategically relevant. In a region increasingly defined by competition and uncertainty, Vietnam's move underscores its determination to remain both resilient and prepared. The Artillery and Missile Command is not merely a bureaucratic creation. It is a symbol of Vietnam's long-term vision, one that blends history with modernization in pursuit of credible national defense.